Hi, and welcome to Universe Says. I'm Angela Copeland, and this edition of Universe Says is for Saturday and Sunday, April 24th and 25th. Um, our calendar that we use for this segment shares one quote for the weekend. So Monday through Friday get their own page, but for some reason, Saturday and Sunday only get one to share. I think they deserve their own page, don't you? For a lot of us, they're the two most important days of the week, right? The break from work. So anyway, we'll be getting to our calendar in just a moment. As always, whenever you land here on this video, it doesn't have to be April 24th or 25th. The universe has brought you here and has something to say. That's kind of the whole thing, universe says. So let's see what the universe has to say to us. Of course, I'm getting excited. I've mentioned a couple of times that April's my birthday month and the 27th, big day, coming up soon. All right. So, of course, I have not looked at the quote yet. I don't have any idea what it's about or who said it. Sometimes that's can be problematic for me because I've never heard of the author, or I stumble through some kind of meaning with the quote. But the idea behind this segment also is just to not overthink something and just react to it, though, from a centered place. Okay, there we are. So to our weekend, here we are. Oh, Phyllis Diller. This should be interesting. How many of you know who in the world that is? Anybody? A comedian, very famous in her day and time, a female comedian. And when she got started in comedy, there weren't too many. So she was quite the trailblazer, to say the least. All right. That and her hair and makeup was also a bit trailblazing, if I remember correctly. All right. I want my kids to have all the things I couldn't afford. Then I want to move in with them. I want my kids to have all the things I couldn't afford, and then I want to move in with them. Phyllis Diller. More of a funny than inspirational on first blush. But at least she had a plan on why she was giving her kids stuff, because she thought eventually she would benefit from it. Is that what we do today? The whole idea to provide more for our children than we had for ourselves. Is that really something that's still valid? There's just so much at our fingertips right now, right? How, if we keep trying to one up with each generation in terms of possessions, I think that could almost turn into something negative. You know, when you think about giving your children better than you had, generally what you had was a very depressed situation. I mean, maybe you grew up in the Great Depression. Parents didn't own a home. You might not have had been able, you didn't have car and transportation. We didn't have cell phones. I mean, there's also so much stuff now. It seems to me at most we should maybe just provide as much as we had. That's just kind of otherwise there's this like almost greed that happens, or that what you give your children is somehow a direct reflection on your own status. And it's, I don't know, it's just different nowadays, I would think, than so last century, right? Which wasn't that many years ago, that many decades ago. Um, I would almost argue that after about my parents' generation, so if you think about people born in the 40s, that much more after their generation, I don't know how relevant that notion of giving your children more than you had is relevant. Now, certainly there are pockets, and I'm not saying we're just a nation of a bunch of haves, because we're not. But it seems to have, gone beyond just being able to have a good home, a decent job, and 3 meals on the table. Now it's, are you getting a new phone every time a new one comes out? Is it getting a brand new car every time and driving it for 2 years and getting tired of it and getting something else? It's just like this, I don't know, everything seems very temporary. And we're not talking about the fact that life is temporary. That's a whole different discussion. It's like we just discard things very easily and quickly. Wow, so that's where that went. And Phyllis Diller probably didn't anticipate this moment right now. But she said, I want my kids to have all the things I couldn't afford, and then I want to move in with them. What do you think? Do we need to keep making sure our kids have more than we had? Let's discuss. Make a comment in the comments. Curious if you know even who the heck Phyllis Diller is. Anyway, I want to thank you for landing on the video, whatever you did happen to, and give this a little thought. Now, I'm going to be back here on Monday, the 26th, with another edition of Universe Says. And until then, please take care of yourself.